Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Rockwood number SP47-710. This is a push bar, is what it is. It is a pretty typical round, solid aluminum push bar. This is the SP47, though, in that it is of a variant that features that flattened end to the face of the door. And you'll see this design of where it's bent, comes down, and then runs parallel to the face of the door here. You can kind of see where that angle is right there. Okay, this type of bar has a hole drilled and tapped here at the lock style. Same hole drilled and tapped at the pivot style as well. This is a 36-inch center to center, so it's a bit unusual in the sense of, you know, it's obviously a wider than standard door that this is going on. Because it's from center of the one bolt to the center of the other bolt is 36-inch. They can make these to any size that you need center to center. 36 is just going to be less common. 33-inch, 29-inch variations within there are more common. This client happened to have an oversized door. That's all there is to it. You will often see hardware like this on pairs of wood doors, maybe half glass, 2-panel below, that are a little bit wider than standard, maybe 38-inch, 39-inch, 40-inch. Is kind of where you can see such bars like this that are a little bit longer. And in fact, that is the case that the client has for this opening. You know, downtown historical city in a popular ski destination out west in Utah is what this is for. So the SP47, let's talk about that. That means that this is a 1-inch diameter bar. Okay. That the SP is going to be this special profile as I had shown earlier. Now, and we'll go through the extended description in a moment, this is a 710 finish, which means dark bronze anodized over aluminum. So the 710 literally tells us that this bar is made of aluminum. It's not stainless, it's not brass, it's not bronze. It's aluminum. If we were to change that finish code to something else like 630, satin brushed stainless, that would tell us that the finish is stainless steel, but it's on stainless as well. If we said 613 oil rubbed bronze, that would mean it would be an oil rubbed process over a solid bronze, forgive me, a solid bronze base material as well is what that would be. Suffice it to say, you can order this, if I've not already mentioned, in the center to center you need, including, you know, fractional sizes. Just order the next longest piece and the factory will accommodate your request. Indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for it to come out to, and that's how they'll make it. It's all made to order technically anyway, whether it's 36 or 33 or 29 or 34 and 7/8. It doesn't really matter. Not that we've had people use these as door pulls, but we've had people use these as door pulls. So, you know, certain types of applications go with unusual requests. So, you know, that might be an instance where you want a longer pull where you're using it in a less than common sort of application for this material. Okay, so let's switch to the screen view where we can take a look at the supporting documentation. Before we do that, this is going to be what I mentioned, type 1 mount. Type 1 is literally through bolts with these finish washers. That's a 1/4 20 thread. The pole has been drilled and tapped for a 1/4 20 thread. These are the screws that you'll see. Phillips drive with a what we'd call a finish washer or a countersunk washer. Okay, let's take a look at the supporting documentation. Okay, so this is the item that we have here in front of us. SP47 and a 710 finish. So SP47, let's take a look and see. We have this listed in lots of lengths, 24-inch, 26-inch, you know, 36-inch would be the longest. Again, you can have longer lengths, you can have shorter lengths. If it's longer than 36, we'll need to work up something for you. And it's possible you could have a pair of 4-foot doors, I suppose, or something like that, where you need something longer. The 710, that does mean it's made of aluminum in that dark bronze anodized finish. If you're curious about the origin of 710, we could get to the BHMA, Builders Hardware Manufacturers Association table of finishes, their finish chart. if you were to do a search for 710, which it's not in here. I think my chart may be... That chart may be incomplete. Yeah, so the Rockwood is using 710, and the BHMA is 313. Well, actually, let's see, take a look. I saw 710, US 313, or a 313 finish. Yeah, I can't explain why, you know, Rockwood has this 710 finish in their chart, but BHMA does not. And the only thing I can really think of is this chart just may not be inclusive of the 710. It is definitely a BHMA code. That means aluminum with a dark bronze anodized. Other manufacturers use it beyond Rockwood, but why it's not on their complete ANSI BHMA number, I cannot answer. So let's just continue on with what we're working on here. The point of the matter is when you do a search for Rockwood SP47, you're going to find lots of finishes available. Pages worth, in fact. So be mindful. If it's, you know, a stainless-based, brass, bronze, aluminum-based material, Rockwood can accommodate. They can powder coat as well. So let's take a look back to where we're at, SP47-710-36. Now, 1-inch diameter bar, 36-inch center to center. Projection is 2.5 with an 1.5 inch clearance underneath, obviously at the push side of the door and on the lock style. 1/4-20 through bolt, that's that Type 1 mount. Other mounts are available, and we'll talk about that in a second. Other lengths are available, which we spoke about. Okay. The factory supplied image shown above illustrates the SP47 prep for a surface bolt that would permit the bar to be attached to the face of the door with an exposed head fastener. The manufacturer can supply the through bolt, which would not feature that prep seen, but would have a bolt through the door, which we communicate to drilled and tapped threads on the underside of the push bar. Visual evidence of the mounting method would not be obvious from the push side of the door. I'm quite sure what they're referring to is doing a concealed mount, where you would take a bolt and thread it into the face of the door, and then your pull handle would sit over that, and you would have a crossbore drilled and tapped for a set screw. So you could use a concealed mount, and we're going to talk about that concealed mount in a moment. Engraving option, you can have these engraved push or pull. That's not uncommon. I did a community park district where there was an exercise facility. There was a steam room, aluminum door and frame. The Rockwood hardware I had engraved as push and pull. We would certainly like to know the hand of the door. This is not necessarily going to be handed in all instances. However, it would be nice to know the hand of the door so that we can triangulate and understand better what you're doing. Knurling if necessary, if you had the requirement for tactile evidence of something beyond the door. Select push type, push mounting type. That should just say select mounting type. We'll correct that. Type 1 and Type 5, so they can do a pair of these, sets of these back to back. That would not be unheard of. And they can do the through bolt as well. But let's talk about the different mounting types that can be done from Rockwood. Looking at the different mounting types in a document that I have here, they should be able to do... They most certainly can do a Type 6 surface concealed, They can do a 6R, which is for a wood door mount with a riv nut. That nut will collapse against the face of the door. A wood door style concealed mount. Double cone head on the metal door. Same thing as a Type 6, just double cone head. And then the same thing on the hollow metal door, where you're going to use a riv nut, not drill and tap. Okay, so that's pretty common and typical. Now, let's take a look at the product brochure for the SP47. Okay, so this, in what they were referring to, either you could run a bolt right through the face of this, which is common, into the door itself, where you would drill and tap, I suppose, or use, you know, maybe a wood thread. But this has been ordered as Type 1, so it's literally through bolted through the door. You don't see any evidence of it here at all, of the mounting type. Okay, so center to center is to be specified. 1 inch diameter, 2.5 inch projection over here, and then 1.5 inch clearance, obviously. See page A10 for detailed mounting drawings. Let's take a look at A10. We don't have an A10 here because that's just the cut sheet. SP47, the newer catalog, does say A10. Let's get to A10. Oops. Okay. So there you go, A10. You can do all of these mount types on this material, Type 1, etc. Back to, you either have a single pole or back to back. You either have, if you have a single pole, it's either Type 1 or Type 12 generally. If it happens to be a glass door, which I doubt it would be with this type of pole, it'd be a 15. If you're doing concealed, it would be a wood door. It would be something you're going to drill and tap to, something you need a riv nut for, or a wood door. And then back to back is just variations on a theme. How thick is the door? It'll be a Type 5 for 1 3/4. It could be Type 13 if it was glass, but I don't think you'll see an SP47 with that funny bend in it when it's a glass door. Speaking of that funny bend, there's a sample technical drawing I just clicked over very quickly. And that really illustrates the best way to take a look at what this item is going to be. Okay, this happens to be that 36-inch size, exactly what we're looking at. Okay, sample technical drawing. All right, let's wrap up this video on camera. Now, it's a very high-quality piece of hardware from Rockwood. It's just aluminum, but the fit and finish is very good. Very clean, really no damage on it whatsoever, other than my fingerprints, I suppose, would be the only indication of handling. But very nice, clean bar, was exactly what the client needed. He needed this style of bar, and the company that he was accustomed to purchasing them from in this shape discontinued them, or no longer available in the foreseeable future. Called up and said, I need this shape of bar. Well, okay, Rockwood makes that. Let's go for it. And the client was like, that's great. Let's go for it. So that's how we got to the SP47 for this particular client out west at the ski resort. That link below this video to the manufacturer's page will allow you to review not only all of the Rockwood products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as link to the full product catalog. Be mindful to indicate your door thickness. You know, they're going to assume it's 1 3/4 if it's a Type 1. Those bolts are going to be made for that sort of length, but just to indicate that so you get the proper length bolts. I've had people call on a Saturday morning and say, yeah, my bolts are too short. Well, how long are they? They're about 2 1/4. Like, yeah, that's correct for a 1 3/4 thick door. Yeah, my door is 3.5 inch. Okay. You know, we don't have any of those bolts. It's just 1/4 flathead machine bolt. I don't have any in a complimentary finish just laying about. Sometimes it's a price up increase, sometimes it's not. Just indicate that, and we'll let you know if there's any trouble with the cost. Indicate the door thickness, indicate everything that you need. Center to center, door thickness, mounting type, etc. I'm quite partial to Rockwood, and it's because they're an exceptional outfit in the sense that their customer service, their technical support, their shipping lead times, all prompt, predictable, dependable, and reliable, all of them. Any questions on the Rockwood SP47 in a 710 finish or any other Rockwood product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.